Hey, hey, hey. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, guys? Good afternoon. It is Thankful Thursdays. As I say each and every week, we have the activities of our limbs. We ain't in nobody's jail. We ain't in nobody's hospital. And listen, as I say each and every week, we have the activities of our limbs. And I am super, super thankful. Listen, you are tuning in. You're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. I'm super excited. Today is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I don't know what y'all doing, where y'all been, and what y'all been doing. But what I do know, one thing's for sure, two things for certain, is God is good. And it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is Thursday. And if you're tuning in, we're talking all about the blessing in confusion, the blessing in confusion. And I'm going to tell y'all something. If y'all know anything about life, it has a tendency to break you down, hold you hostage, and make you feel all alone and confused, like you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and sometimes people can make you feel that way because they don't want you to go as far as them. And so they'll perceive their issues on you. And I'm here to tell you, God is so good because you have to be determined. I tell my son this all the time, like, you got to be determined. Whatever you want in life, you got to go out here and get it, because nobody's going to feed it to you. Nobody's going to make you feel some type of way like you gotta be able to have everything all together. It doesn't work like that, And so sometimes people will make you feel like, oh, you're not doing enough, or you should be doing more, or whatever the case may be. But I'm here to tell you, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before we take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I'm talking all about blessings in confusion, all about blessings in confusion, all about blessings and confusion. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. We're talking all about the blessings in confusion, because, the enemy is always trying to kill, steal, and destroy. He's always trying to create confusion, always trying to create some type of animosity in our lives, especially when we have a vision or a goal that we're trying to reach. And I'm going to tell you, for most of us that have been looking forward to some of the things that we're working on, or working on certain projects, businesses, goals, degrees, whatever the case may be, the enemy always comes in to create a confusion environment, a confused environment. It comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And if you're tuning in, I want to wish my baby sister, Marshawn, aka Nunu, a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Marshawn. I definitely want to send a special shout out to my other little sister, Juju. Happy birthday to her, as well as all the Virgos out there who are celebrating birthdays. But if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, y'all already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add more to it. It is Thankful Thursdays, and I'm talking about the blessing in confusion. And one of the things that I am truly grateful about is every time the enemy has tried to send an issue my way, God always lifts up the standard against the issue that I have, whether it be with a person, whether it be with a particular thing I'm trying to accomplish. God always has my back, always. And I'm going to tell you, have you guys ever been in a situation where they didn't get your hotel reservations right, or they didn't get you, your food didn't come out correctly, or, a service wasn't properly given the way that it should have been. And so, they'll say something of this nature. If they have quality service, they'll say something, well, my apologies for the inconvenience. We'll give you an extra day or a discount off of the inconvenience. Or, if your food was wrong, we're going to come out with another plated meal. Or we'll give you a discount off of your meal. It usually goes to an effect of that nature whenever there is an issue or a communication issue, you always have, God will always have a way of compensating you for that confusion. And I told my sister this the other day. She was in the car, because you know how preteens do. Pre-teenagers, they act like they about to die from everything. I just be like, girl, you live long enough, you'll be about to die a few more times. You know how we do. You know, when you're a teenager, you about to die from everything. A pre-teenager, you about to die from everything. You could become a young adult, that 19, 20, 21, you feel like, oh my God, the world is against me. I can't, it's just too much. You know how you do. And so I was telling my sister the other day, I said, you live long enough, there will be more issues that you're going to have to face, more realities that you're going to have to deal with. And one of the things that I told her, I said, you know, there's always a blessing in confusion. There's always a blessing when things are going topsy-turvy and turmoil. And I remember being in situations where, you know, things were supposed to be a certain type of way, and they didn't happen the way that I wanted them to. And so I had to learn to readjust my plans according to what actually was happening. Because sometimes we will plan things, and I'm not the only one, you know, and sometimes we know so much that we don't know nothing, you know, and I was one of those people that knew so much that I didn't feel like, oh, you ain't telling me nothing that I don't already know. And that's one of your biggest downfalls, is when you are a person that thinks you know everything when you barely know nothing. Okay. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. Stop acting like you know everything. Sometimes people have to tell you some things just so either you can get it and let it digest in your system, or to reiterate a direction in which you need to go. It's not to bring you down. It's not to belittle you. Sometimes people have to reiterate certain things to get a certain point across so that you can get to your next level. See, there was a point in my life where people would tell me stuff like, you know, you're a great speaker, or, you know, you're a great this, you're a great that. And I'd be like, yeah, I know that already. But then I had to learn, like, well, Zsa Zsa, you're not so great because you still need to practice. If you have seen my IG stories and my Facebook stories, you know that I am a part of the Leadership Experience Tour. And you can get your tickets for that link in my last post. I will be one of the speakers on September 26th. And it is a great honor because I'm a part of a distinguished group of Forbes speakers under the tutelage of Keon Clinton, the number 1%er, 1% better, as well as Sean Fair, the monumental speaker who has allowed so many people to learn under his tutelage to be a speaker, because my goal is to become an international speaker and author. And with doing so, you have to always put yourself in a position where you are learning more about your craft. You know, because I speak every week and because I have dialogue and I speak on podiums, that doesn't mean that I don't need to practice. If you've seen in my IG stories this week, I was showing you all my bloopers of me messing up and re-recording. That was 8 takes. I did 8 takes that day of a 3-minute video. And for those of you who do media, who do production, who do content related work, you understand the value in knowing the hard work that it takes to record certain videos. And so if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. Don't be acting all brand new like you don't or whatever. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. But if you are tuning in, we're talking all about a blessing in confusion. Because you don't know everything, it is a best practice. It is best practice to always seek for better understanding. One of the things that I've had to learn in my expertise of speaking is learning to speak to people at their level. Some people do not gravitate to your ideals, to your vision, to your perspective on life and the things that you seek, because they're not on the same level as you. And one of the things that I've learned in this life, being here for 30 something plus years, I have the honor and privilege of understanding that everybody don't speak your same language. When you meet people who speak your same language, it's not hard to discuss certain ideas. It's not challenging to discuss certain future endeavors. I never forget, I was talking to my cousin one day, and this was a few years ago, and we was on the east side and we was chopping it up. It was actually the day before my birthday a couple years ago. And if you're tuning in, we're talking all about the blessing out of confusion. I was talking to my cousin, and it was two of my cousins, it was a male cousin and a female cousin. We were talking, it was the day before my birthday. And we were outside talking about, I can't wait to get my passport so we can be able to travel internationally and not just, be in the States, but to be able to enjoy the world in which God created. This is a big world out here. And in order for you to actually live the life that you want to, I want to go somewhere, another island other than Belle Isle. Okay. Yeah, I said it. Before I take it back, I'm adding more to it. No shade. I love me some Belle Isle. Okay. Had some of my best memories out there. But I also love Puerto Rico. I also love St. Thomas, Martinique. I love, what was the other one? St. Croix. I went on all these different islands. When I tell you it was magnificent, it was beautiful. It was like something I never seen before. And I think sometimes when we broaden our perspective on things, we have a better level of understanding. But I was talking to my cousin, and we were outside and we were talking. And we talking about how I can't wait to get my passport, which I just recently got, by the way, guys. Y'all need to go get y'all passports. But I was talking to my cousin. We were talking about going to some islands, doing a family trip. It was going to be so dope. Woo, 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 woo. And I'm talking all about the blessing and confusion if you're just tuning in. So I told him, like, yeah, I can't wait till we go out of town. We can do a family trip. Everybody got to get their passports. Woo, 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 woo. Now, my other cousin, she wasn't on the same level as us. So because she wasn't on the same level as us, she couldn't grasp the conversation of us even traveling out of the state of Michigan. Because she didn't grasp the concept of having a passport, traveling, going to the airport, not just during a come-up season, because for some of y'all, this is the most y'all done traveled in your whole lives because of what's been going on during this pandemic. Some of y'all probably ain't never been able to travel as much as y'all been traveling thus far. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Y'all already know that this pandemic, even though it has definitely taken out almost 1 million people worldwide, it literally has allowed millions of people to travel and do things that they've never done before. So what the devil meant for evil, God will always work it out for your good. And I'm talking about the blessings in confusion. We all know that this was a pandemic, that this was man-made. This is not nothing to confuse us. I mean, number 45 just told us he didn't want to tell us how detrimental it was because he didn't want to scare us. And I'm just so confused as to how we keep allowing so much white privilege to go on within our communities, our societies, knowing the hardships that we as Black people end up facing in the long run. It always ends up hurting us in the long run. And I'm not exactly sure why, but it always ends up hurting us in the long run. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about the blessings out of confusion. The blessings out of confusion. If you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm trying to figure out why my cousin is calling me in the middle of my show. Stop. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. See, the blessing in confusion. When you talk to people on their level, you have a better understanding of where they're coming from. So while we were talking about traveling and going and perusing the world and doing a family trip, she interjects and starts talking about Cajun people from Popeyes from Louisiana. And as much as I love me a good old crispy chicken, piece of 2-piece and a biscuit, I never tried the chicken sandwich. But as much as I love Popeyes, I didn't understand how that had anything to do with our conversation. This is the point that I'm trying to make, is that everybody does not understand the concept and the vision that you have for your life, because they will create confusion within your life to have some type of dialogue, to get you off track. See, people, when they can't speak with you on your level, they'll try to detour the conversation to change it to somebody else. Here it is, you talking about inventory and you got to get some more stuff for your website, or you got to do this. And they talking about, girl, did you go to the races last night? So what you saying is that you don't get a conversation that includes inventory and manifestation of money, but you still want to talk about hanging out. See, what that lets me know is we on two different levels, of blessing and confusion. If you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, if you want to dial in for the show, you can dial in now at 313-788-9990, and I can put you right here live on my show as it's happening pertaining to the subject at hand, blessings and confusion. You can call in 313, that number is 313-788-9990. That number is 313-788-9990 if you want to call in for the show. And listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before we take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, I got, it's a beauty in knowing your power. Because when you stick to your plan, the enemy can only cause so much confusion. See, when you stick to your plans, that's why people that know me personally, they know that I have an ink pen and a notebook, and I'm always writing. I will write with a lip liner. I will write with eyeliner. I will write whenever God gives it to me at that moment. I will write about it, whether it's an idea. And the reason why I do that is because, A, you cannot always rely on your brain to remember every idea that you have. You can't rely on your brain to remember every strategy, program, or everything that you thought about when you had the idea. And see, a lot of us in this world could be moving a lot faster, or our world could be a lot more advanced in certain areas, not just with technology, if we stay focused on our plans, our ideas, the things that God has given us to do. But when we lack on those things, we end up missing out on the opportunities of how we could have contributed to society. When you stick to your plans, you level yourself up. It's like a person who is determined to finish college. Next year, I'll be graduated from college. 17 years it took me to get this degree. But regardless of what nobody else got to say about nothing, I got it done. At the end of the day, sometimes people will have you focus on everything else other than what you need to focus on. And then you get mad when you get home, or you get back to your wherever you're at, and you're like, dang, I didn't even do this. I didn't even take care of this, because you've allowed people to take you off your square and take you off your plans. People know not to call me before my show. People know not to call me during my show. People also know, that there are certain time frames where I'm focused on doing certain things. And if we ain't talking about what I'm talking about, then I can't talk to you right now. See, when you start setting up boundaries, you can stay focused to the plan that you are working on. And if you're tuning in, it's your girl, Zsa Zsa. You're listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Y'all already know before I take it back what I'm going to do. I'm going to add more to it. Listen, we're talking all about the blessings out of confusion, because the enemy wants to confuse you. He wants to take you off of your horse and out of your focus. And by doing so, he'll distract you with all type of stuff. He'll have your friends calling you like, hey, come go here with me. Come do this with me. Or will pull you in drama. I know people who claim they hate drama, right? Have you ever met somebody that say they claim they hate drama, but always in drama? Where they do that at? You always hate drama, but yet you always in drama. And you got to be mindful of people like that, because their drama will end up being attached to you. If you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, if you want to call in for the show today, you can call in 313-788-9990. That's 313-788-9990 if you want to tune in or call in for the show, and you will be live on, yeah, I said it, because y'all already know before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. We're talking about the confusion, the blessings out of confusion. Everybody cannot go with you. Okay? Everybody can't go. I love Big Sean's new album. I was listening to it the other day. First of all, it made me want to hip roll, made me want to jit. It made me want, it just made me want to I just wanted to go all the way back to like middle school, high school, had a little butterfly clips, a little lip gloss popping, eat some crybabies, you know, all of that shaboing boing. And I was so excited because when I was listening to his album, and something that I've been noticing is the storyline in a lot of records about how you have to leave certain people or leave certain situations and scenarios in order for you to become your best self. And when you get to a place of success in your life, that doesn't take away from all of your problems. Here it is, our very own native, Big Sean, with his new album, Detroit 2, discussing suicide, mental health, depression, breaking up with the person that he's with, having different relationships with family and friends. And the truth of the matter is, the higher the success, the higher the turbulence. My pastor says all the time, shout out to Bishop J. Drew Shear, when he talks about the price of flying high is turbulence. See, some of us, we want the glitz and the glamour that comes along with doing a podcast or running a campaign or running a business, but you don't want to talk about all of the bumps and the hardships and the challenges and the things that make you cry and the people who hurt you along the way, who you think are family and they really your foe. And just because they have the same blood running through their veins does not make them true family. It doesn't mean that you're not going to run into people who break your heart, who say they love you with all their heart and soul, but they'll turn around and stab you in the back. These are the same people that will say, hey, I love you, you're doing great, but they won't show you no support at all. They will watch you work for it. And then when you get to a level of success, they'll have their hand out anticipating you helping them when they had nothing to do with your success at all. That's why I'm very conscientious of people who share my video. I watch everything. I watch who share my video, who subscribes to my YouTube channel, who supports the things that I'm doing. I have a book out right now. You can go to Zsa Zsa Hubbard.com to order my new book, Dear Carlin. Dear Carlin is a memoir as well as a autobiography and a story to my community in which I grew up, Joy Road, Exit 9, come off the freeway. It's a story and a journey about healthy communities and how they impact healthy families. And right now, our world is consistent upon us going back to the things that actually matter, which is family, which is good health, which is good vibes and good energy. And the thing about it is that a good vibe is hard to ignore. A good vibe is hard to ignore. Listen, baby, I'm a vibe and I am hard to ignore. I am a whole vibe. People see me all the time and they want to know what I do, where I'm from. And see, some people will not attach themselves to you or want to hang out with you because you are a vibe. Because you are a vibe. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the blessing and confusion. Because you are a vibe. Because you are a vibe. What my cousin say, I just want to come get my shirt. Yes, cuz, come get your shirt. Come on, scrolling for information. What up, though, Jess? It's your girl, Jess, in the building. I see you, Jessica. This is my baby. I love Jessica and her family. They have such an amazing family. But if you are listening and subscribing to my channel right now, we are talking all about the blessing and confusion. But I was talking about you are a vibe. See, some people don't like the fact that you are a vibe, period. Okay? Period. Okay? At the end of the day, I was giving out the senior distribution last week for their materials. And, you know, when you are a vibe, you're just a vibe. It's nothing that you try to fake a vibe. And they're not a vibe at all. They are actually a nuisance. And they're irritating because you're such a vibe. People like talking to you. They are attracted to you. And some people won't invite you to certain places because you are a vibe. It is not a matter of, you try to show out or you try to intimidate people or you try to be the life of the party. It's just a matter that your energy and your vibe attracts people. And other people who don't carry those same vibes, they hate that. They hate when, everybody knows you, or they hate when people, love your outfit or your swag or your style, or, or you've been down and out and you've been out the game for a minute, then you just pop up out of nowhere and everybody's still showing you love. See, one of the things that I noticed during my season and my transition of going through some of the most hellish seasons in my life. And if you're tuning in, we're talking all about the blessing out of confusion. There were some times in my life where the enemy caused so much confusion and turmoil that I was ready to take my own life. And a lot of you have been in situations where you've had suicidal thoughts. There's no need to act like, oh, I've thought about my life was so all together and everything was so perfect and everything was bluebirds and red robins and cherries and everything was just amazing. No, there have been times in my life where I was just like, you know what? I can't take it. I can't take it. I'm trying to make ends meet. I got to figure this out. I got to figure that out, and at the end of the day, we all have been there. We all have had some times in our lives where we felt like, I want to take it. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to go. God, I'm ready to go. Like I had a whole conversation with God. Like, I need you to take me out today. I'm ready to go right now. If right now was a moment, I'm ready right now. Take me today. Right now, I'm ready. But God had other plans. And sometimes when you're going through certain type of situations in life, it will weigh so heavy on your heart and so heavy on your mind. That's why I'm talking today all about the blessings in confusion, because the enemy will have you all confused in your mind, having you give up on yourself, give up on your relationships, give up on your friendships and your marriages and your parenting. That's how people go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's how that lady was able to kill her kids and put them in a deep freezer, because you just give up. Life is so hard and so challenging, and it's even more hard and even more challenging when you have people that look like you in position to help you. Look like you in position to help you, and they choose not to. That's why I'm always very conscientious of when people call me and say, hey, sis, do you know where I can get this information from? Do you know how I can do this? Do you know how I can do that? And I'm always so willingly and capable and able to try to help out as much as I can, because you have to be careful of how you treat people in their down season. You don't know how this situation will turn around for a person in life. I remember seeing a guy, he was homeless. And when I tell you, I would speak to this man all the time. Hey, how you doing? I might not have no coins. A couple times I had a couple bottles in the car. I gave it to him. And one day, I was in the store. This man was behind me and he was just talking. And he was like, you don't remember me, do you? And I was like, no, but how you doing? He was all clean cut. And, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't fine, but he was decent. You know what I'm saying? He had some decency to him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you always used to give me bottles at the gas station. And I'm looking. And I'm like, oh, snap. He like, yeah, I clean myself up and, whoop, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wow. Now, just imagine if I would have been nasty and mean to the man and acting like I'm better, because half of y'all don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw out of. Y'all, one unemployment check of being out here homeless like some of these folks out here. So don't ever think that you so much better. My pastor would say, don't ever think you so such and much that you won't be down at a lower level, because you can be. All it takes is a snap of a finger and a twist of a situation to bring you back to a reality. You know, I always tell people, you might want to stay humble because you don't want God to humble you. And God had to humble me, and I ended up being embarrassed. I ended up becoming stressed out, dealing with anxiety and depression because I didn't want to be humble. You know, you have those people that pretend to be humble. It's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. They ain't humble. They just learn to practice the verbiage of being humble, but they ain't really humble. God really has to, it's a spirit of humbleness that comes upon you that allows you to treat everybody a certain type of way. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. You are listening to, I said it, and we're talking all about the blessing out of confusion. Because see, the thing about it is that people see the success on you. People will see the success on you. People will see the potential that you have. It's up to you to see that potential and grasp upon it. Doesn't mean everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be peachy. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It actually means the minute that you have a decision or have decided that this is the way that you want to go, or the way that you want to live, or this is the way your children should live, or this is the way you want your spouse and your marriage to line up, the enemy is going to come in like a floodgate just to confuse you. The enemy don't want nobody that's out here laying on their back and laying on their knees and drug dealing. And the enemy already got them. The enemy already got the ones that's out here in the street killing, dealing, doing all what they want to do. He already got them. And because he already got them, for those that he don't have, we have to be those pillars of light that say, hey, brother, hey, sister, you ain't got to do that. Yeah, life is hard, and life can be hard. But here's another way for you to do that. You know, I talk to a lot of my brothers that's out on the street, and they gang bang and they dope deal. And I don't discriminate because they're people. You know what I mean? They just chose these type of occupations. But I always let them know that the same occupation that you utilize to sell dope, drugs, or whatever it is those are the same principles you need to start a business. Great customer service, inventory, got to have a great working number, because how they going to get you to get the drugs? That's the same way of any products that you got to sell. How they going to get the products from you? You got to have great customer service. You got to have a quality product. These are all the same things that our young men and young women need to understand when it comes to economics. As a candidate of DPSCD, and make sure that you guys go and vote, register and vote. Okay? Register and vote. I know everybody's telling you this is the biggest vote and this is a very important election. It's very important. Yes, it's important. It's an important election. You should be out here doing your due diligence and going out and going to go vote. Where you can register to vote. The myth about you going to jail or being a prisoner or a felon, that is inaccurate. You can register to vote. You can vote in the state of Michigan. You have to be mindful of the misinformed information. But as a candidate for DPSCD, one of the biggest goals that I want to operate in is economics for our youth. Our young people need to understand that entrepreneurship, financial literacy is extremely important, not only as a brown or black person, but it's important as an individual. Everybody's not going to be a lawyer. Everybody's not going to be a doctor. Everybody's not going to be an employee or an employer. But regardless of what side of the spectrum you're on, you want to be able to be equipped and understand the power of economics. See, I believe that everybody should have an understanding of how to make the money, how to save the money, and how to spend the money. See, a lot of us, we know how to make the money. Some of us, we know how to save the money. But a lot of us, we don't know how to spend the money. We will get globs and globs and globs of money. And one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Everybody in the beginning of the year, between February and April, they have approximately between $3,000 and $7,000. Majority of those people either pay back past bills that are due instead of going to go buy something that can actually have a return on their investment, like a property, like some type of tool, you know, with landscaping or, you know, a vacuum cleaner. You know, I was telling people this is a great time to start some cleaning companies for those of you who are confused about what you need to be doing. If God put it on you to do, listen, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. There are 3 steps that you need in order to start your business. And if you need help with that, DM me, slide in my DM. Y'all want to slide in my DM for everything else? Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about the blessings in confusion. I'm your host, Zsa Zsa Hubbard. You can follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. But that is one of my biggest pillars and goals as a candidate for the children of DPSCD. They need to understand the importance of economics and how it runs not only the city, okay, because they're going to be productive citizens in a few years. Not how money runs the city, how money governs the state, how money governs this country, and how money governs this world. And if our children don't know how to make the money, don't know how to save the money, and don't know how to spend the money, then we are in for a real treat. You think it's hard times now. Just imagine a child that's becoming a young adult, not being able to fill out a money order or sign a contract or look over certain verbiage and certain words that they did not learn in, you know, in their secondary education. See, we have to make sure that our children are not just locally ready, but they are globally ready. And I feel like the people that are in position to make sure that that happens is failing our children. They're failing our children. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. There are people who are, they are professional politicians. They go from seat to seat, hopping from one salary to the next, and they ain't making no real strides. They just have become comfortable being in the limelight, having a title with their name. But I'm going to tell you something. When it's intentional and there is purpose behind it, you won't need a name or a title in front of it because you're going to do the work. When the work speaks for itself, you don't need a title. See, this is one of the reasons why I can say I didn't need to be around certain crews or be in certain cliques in order for me to manifest the blessings in my life, because all I need is me and God. If I got me and God, he'll show me and send me everybody else I need. And see, one of the things that I've learned in life's challenges, through life's challenges, is that the negative thoughts will take over and have you feeling like, oh, God, you know, I'm never going to get this done. I'm never going to be able to accomplish this. I'm never going to be able to get out of this situation. But you have to, you know, I talk to myself all the time. You know, I don't care. You can say I'm crazy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I might just answer myself. So boom, there you go. What I'm going to do? I'm going to add more to it. I oftentimes have to check myself on my own negative thoughts because I have them too. And I have to check myself because I have to get my thought process together to say, okay, you done with your pity party? You done feeling bad about yourself? You done with your negative thoughts? Okay, let's get back to the grind. Let's get back to the grind. And the thing about it is that there are always blessings and confusion. When the enemy think that he about to come in here and cause all kind of confusion, see, I see confusion a mile away. And see, I have a huge shut it down spirit. For those of you who don't know what a shut it down spirit is, I'm about to tell you. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. A shut it down spirit is a person who has a spirit that ain't dealing with no foolishness or no mess. When it comes to dogging other people out, I shut it down. I ain't got time to be caught up in that conversation. No, I don't want to talk about it. No, honestly, I don't care. Yeah, girl, for real, I seen it. Don't even care. What? Oh, such and such don't like me. What? Okay, well, thanks for telling me. Now I know to stay away from them. The shutdown spirit allows you to protect your energy. It allows you to protect your aura. It allows you to not entertain foolishness. Because see, some of you all are unhappy with the way your life has transitioned is because you are allowing certain things in your spirit. I don't allow everybody to call me. I don't allow everybody to have conversations about certain things. And depending on how you catch me, you might get cut. Because I might have to cut into you depending on who and what you're talking about. Because see, some of y'all have been entertaining foolishness for so long, and then all of a sudden you want to oust the people that you've been taking up for, and you want to all of a sudden now, I don't want to deal with that drama, and I don't know. You've been a part of it for years, allowing it to manifest and brew. That's why I'm always conscientious of the people and their fruit that they bear. See, some people, they know how to act accordingly, but I pay attention to the fruit that they bear. See, everybody does not produce good fruit. Some people produce some foolishness, and you got to be mindful of those people, because people will give you what they want to give you. I always say, what do I say? People always want to give you minimum effort and expect maximum results. They want to give you a little bit. They want to give you. At the end of the day, I've come across situations where there has been a blessing and confusion. The other day, I had ordered some food from this restaurant. That it would have came up to about $80, 80 something dollars. Usually when me and Tayshawn eat there. And at the end of the day, the lady messed up our whole order. She combined me and Tayshawn's order, didn't add the second order. And I'm just like, okay. So when I got to the restaurant, I knew why she couldn't get my order right, because they was all in the back playing. They all in the back playing. And this is a sidebar for you entrepreneurs out there, you entrepreneurs. I need you to have better customer service skills for your business. If your cell phone is going to be your contact for your business, don't answer your cell phone talking about, hello, who is this? Or yeah, or hello, or what? You answer your cell phone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How can I help you? What can I do you for? You need to have a certain type of communication to open up your phone with. Don't just be answering your cell phone. It's supposed to be your work phone. Talking about some hello, what up, though? Who is this? Who gonna take you serious? So when I got to the place, the establishment, I noticed why they couldn't get my order right, because they back there playing. They just playing. So of course, I had to get them together real quick. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Y'all already know. I said, I'm going to need a discount, because at this point, I should be at home eating my dinner. I had to wait longer for my meal. And now you're trying to overcharge me. They had 3 different prices. So it went from $80 some to $130 some to $90 some to finally the girl was just like, you know what? We just gonna give her 50% off. So my bill, my $80 some, $90 some bill ended up being $26.50. The blessing out of confusion. See, sometimes you gotta calm your spirit and not react. I used to be a reactor. And when I tell you, I would snap and react because I have such a calming spirit. Yeah, I be turned up and lit. But certain things, I've learned to be like, okay, let me look at this situation a different type of way. Maybe it's a blessing that this situation has happened. And see, one of the things that I've learned is that God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so that we can listen twice as much as we talk. Because a lot of misunderstandings in relationships come from communication issues. Some of y'all talk so much, but don't be talking about nothing. You barely know how to communicate effectively. You don't tell people how you truly feel. Then you get upset because you don't get the results that you want. It's like a relationship. You be with a man and you telling this man ain't nothing wrong with you. Nothing. Ladies, y'all know how y'all do. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Nothing. I'm fine. And then he go on about his day. So now you mad because he didn't get what was going on with you, because you failed to communicate. Well, he should know what's wrong with me. Should he? Should he know what's wrong with you? Or should you be bold enough to tell a person how you really feel? See, the difference between me and so many people in this world is that, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Because, see, some people have the tendency, and this was one of the reasons why I started, yeah, I said it in the first place, because I wanted to take kitchen talk and bring it to the forefront. Because all of us have the tendency of talking about certain things that we don't like, that we despise, that we have issues with, that we're suffering from challenges with, but nobody wants to bring those things to the table. I've never had a problem with expressing how I felt to anyone, my superiors, my employers, co-workers, confidants, because when you don't express how you feel at that moment, you'll have a spirit of regret. And I've been in situations where I felt like, man, I wish I would have said something. Dang, this is what I should have said. You know, have you ever had an argument with somebody? You be like, dang, I should have said this. I should have said that. And you be like, dang, I missed the opportunity. Or you have a situation where, you know, you wanted to speak your mind on an unjust situation. See, growing up in school, there was no way that anybody could just do what they wanted to do around me and think that I wasn't gonna say nothing. Cause I'd be like, you ain't doing no work. So you just gonna do what you want to do and not worry about nothing. Got it. Because when you do that, you end up messing it up. There's a strategy in how your day is going to operate and plan. And when you choose not to communicate, it can mess your day up. Have you ever been mad the whole day because somebody did say something to you, or somebody did say something to you and you felt some type of way about it? And so for the whole day, you all jacked up. Can you believe what she said to me? She gonna tell me where I get my pants from. And now you over here with the face, because now you're trying to figure out, what did she mean by where did I get my pants from? Or, you know, a guy says, you know, what's up? You know, I'm feeling that, you know what I'm saying? I like that such. And you all like, well, what do you mean by that, man? So all of these misunderstandings because of lack of communication. We're talking about the blessings in confusion. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, y'all already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Make sure that you follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. And listen, if you want to help out by supporting Zsa Zsa C. Hubbard, you can pre-order my book, Dear Carlin, at zsachubbard.com. You can pre-order my book, Dear Carlin, at zsachubbard.com. You can order your Yeah, I Said It shirts and sweatshirts, because it's hoodie and sweatshirt season. You can order your shirts. You can order your hoodie from my website. And if you want to contribute to my campaign, Zsa Zsa C. Hubbard for School Board, November 3rd, make sure you go out and vote. Our youth equals our future. If you would like to help out with our donations, we would definitely be more than grateful to be a friend of Zsa Zsa C. Hubbard for DPSCD School Board. I am looking for donations. Listen, anything helps out. $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. If you want to be very helpful, you know what I'm saying? You want to add extra zero to one of them hundreds, that'll be grateful. Because I am running a campaign and I need all the help I can get. If you are looking to volunteer, sign up and volunteer through the website, www.zsachubbard.com. You can volunteer and you can donate to the campaign at zsachubbard.com to be a part. If you want to volunteer, we are going to be canvassing in about a week so we can get out here in these streets and get out here and knock on some of these doors, okay? As well as some events that are going to be coming up, and I will keep you guys abreast of all of that that's going on. But if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, y'all already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add. It is extremely important. I am a candidate on that ballot. I'm the fourth one down. So it's 1, 2, 3. Then it's me. 1, 2, 3. Then it's me. So vote for me on November 3rd. But if you're tuning in, we're talking all about the blessing out of confusion. Because God has a way of giving us 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen as much as we talk. It is a blessing in being able to understand how communication is so important and so effective in our relationships and deal breakers. Some of you don't have good relationships because you don't have good communication. And the best part of knowing what you need is acknowledging what it is that you're having a hard time with and working on those areas so that you can become better. Even though I'm a speaker, I also knew that I needed practice with speaking, having dialogue, standing before an audience, which is one of the reasons why I would do the announcements every Sunday, Friday, or Sunday night. When I would do the announcements, God was preparing me to stand in front of hundreds of thousands of people and become comfortable with doing so. You don't know what God is building you up to do until that present moment when you have to do it. So now when I get before people, or now when I have to do certain things, it's second nature to me because I've already been prepared to do so. God will always prepare you for that next level in life, but you have to be mindful of the confusion that comes in to get you off your square. Not to make you feel better about yourself. I ain't never known no confusion to make you happy. I ain't never known no confusion to be like, yeah, I'm so blessed that my car broke down. No. But out of that confusion, you probably ended up meeting a mechanic, or you probably ended up finding out what was really wrong with your vehicle, or you ended up finding out about patience about yourself. So at the end of the day, every time there's a confused situation that happens in your life, just know that there is a blessing that's going to come out of it. I'm telling you, it's a blessing that's always going to come out of it. And at the end of the day, you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, if you're tuning in, I have a call-in number. If you want to call in and give a comment, that number is 313-788-9990. If you want to call in and give a comment, 788-9990. It's your girl, Zsa Zsa. You're listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because at the end of the day, certain people, when it comes to certain confusion in your life, certain people will withdraw. I know some people who are not good at confrontation. They're not good with handling trying issues in their life. You know, for me, I'm head on with those things. Yes, it has been times in my life where I felt like I was Creed, like I was Michael B. Jordan in a ring, and I was literally fighting for my life. And every time I stood up to try to fight some more, the enemy would knock me back down with more drama, with more confusion, with more deaths, with more misunderstandings, with more friendships and situations that affected me and hurt my heart, because I had the gall or the boldness to keep getting back up. Because that's what the enemy wants to do. He wants to keep confusion in your life so much that you give up on your dreams, that you give up on what you want to do in life, that you give up on your spouse, your relationship, your friendship. And at the end of the day, let me tell you something. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. Anything that values you and where you're going in life, they will not take it for granted. If you have a relationship and they don't support where it is that you're trying to go, that's not the person for you. You need to exit stage left. No matter how much it's going to hurt, no matter how much you didn't have memories with these people. And I tell people all the time, it don't matter how long you've been knowing somebody, how long you've been friends with somebody. That don't mean nothing. That's just a number. Aaliyah said it best. Our Detroit princess, age ain't nothing but a number. So I don't care how long I know you. If you don't value the relationship between you and I, there's no value in this relationship. Some of you all are holding on to confusion because of the time frame that's connected to it. I don't care how long I've known you. If you bring confusion to my life, you got to go. I don't care how cool we used to be. If there's no benefit in me and you staying connected, ain't no hard feelings. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you, but you got to go. Some of you all are holding on to confusion and want to know why your life is so chaotic. See, I had to learn that I got to walk away from this relationship because it's draining me mentally. And I had to learn to be okay with what another parent didn't do when it came to the parent situation. And see, a lot of parents are doing virtual learning right now, and you're at home. And it was already hard enough that you all were single parents or you were having some challenges already. But at the end of the day, I had to learn and come into grips with my thoughts and peace within myself. That Zsa, you gonna have to do this parenting thing solo. And then not only that, I had to say, okay, Zsa, whatever you can't do, you need to start reaching out to people. And if they can help you, great. If they can't, then it must be we don't need it at this moment. See, I had to learn and revamp my thoughts from the beginning. I had to reevaluate, okay, do we need this $80 purchase, or do I need to put this toward a bill right now? And I had to let my son know, hey, we're not getting that this month or this week. Do you like DTE? You like lights? Do you like lights? You like being in the light? Because we done been in the dark before. Do you like watching TV? Because that's electricity. You like electricity? Because I got to pay DTE in order for that to happen. And when you start having those type of conversations, because see, the enemy will come in like a flood to create confusion. And he'll always use people that's closest to you to create those confusions. Whether it be a relationship you in, your children, friendship, you never are too bothered. You may get a little upset temporarily from a stranger or a person that doesn't know you too well, but it's always the people that are closest to you that cause that stress and that confusion and those issues. And you got to be able to understand that is this hurting me or is this helping me? Is this person hurting me or is this person helping me? You always have to be mindful of what is the intention and the purpose behind what people do. You know, my pastor, he preached the other day, and let me tell you something. For those of you who aren't spiritual, religious, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, because I ain't got a heaven and hell to put you in. One of the things that I've noticed is that when you got a good pastor, a good preacher, a good mentor, a good person in your life that means you well, means well for your future, they will know and pick up things about you without you even telling them. I have mentors that'll call me and say, are you okay? Because you was on my mind and some told me to call you. My pastor last Sunday, he preached a great message. He talked about the intent, because some people will do things and there's a negative intent to do you harm, whether it be mentally, body. They meant to do you harm. They meant to do you in and cause confusion in your life and not cause you to explode you to the next level. See, one of the things that I've learned in my time and my turmoil that when I was going through all these different transitions and all this confusion was happening in my life, I didn't realize that God was building my skin and building me to have armadillo skin to fight against the things that was going to come up against me when I got into another level of life. And see, right now, you may be going through some situations and you say, Zsa Zsa, it's all type of chaos and confusion going on in my life. But what you don't know is God is setting you up for something bigger, some better opportunities. But in order for you to get there, sometimes we're going to have to strengthen and toughen ourselves up. Some of us, we think we tough until we run into tough situations that cause us to actually have to be tough. And the thing about it is that you got to look at people for what they are, not who they are, but what they are. Who they are is totally different from what they are. What is a matter of what are they producing? What comes from who they are? See, everybody can make you feel like they're a good person because you're looking at them from the outside. And see, this is one of the things that I love about God is that while man looks at the outer appearance of what people look like or claim to have, God looks at the heart. He looks at the intent of why people do things, why people speak, why people show love, why people act like they really care. And see, I don't do things just to say, oh, yeah, I did it. I do things because I actually genuinely care. Like on November 3rd, I need you to vote Zsa Zsa Hubbard for school board, because our youth is our future. And if we're not careful to take care of our future right now, our future will have a hard time taking care of us in the future. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I'm going to tell you something. As you transition with all the things that's going on in your life, know that confusion only causes to confuse you. It only causes to confuse you. There's going to be a multitude of blessings that come your way out of the confusion if you stay focused and fret not. If you stay focused on your goal and stay on your path, the enemy can't touch you. Listen, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. And yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, make sure that you go to my website, www.zsachubbard.com. Make sure that you donate. I am greatly appreciative to whatever you can donate to the campaign, whether it be $1, $5, $20, $50. Listen, if God, yes. So if you want to donate to the campaign, go to zsachubbard.com. If you would like to sign up and be a volunteer, you can also go to zsachubbard.com. We're going to be working on a lot of different projects this coming up, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. You can also pre-order my book, Dear Carlin, at zsachubbard.com, as well as the YISI merchandise, the hoodie, as well as the shirt is available on my website. Just make sure that you order it. Listen, I love you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And again, special birthday shout out to my baby sister, Nunu. Happy birthday, Marshawn. And I am super grateful for all of you. But listen, I want you to understand that there's blessings in confusion. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know what's up. You know, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. I love y'all. Peace.